Okay, Afzal was not a leader. Afzal was not a big person or like an intellectual or somebody. He was not a great person also. He was just a common man. So that as non-Kashmiri, can I think that most of the Kashmiris who don't even who not even seen about Afzal or even not even spoken about to him or seeing Afzal as themselves that they are getting hanged by the Indian government cheating and the way the conspiracy happened. So is it that people are seeing that more than Afzal, they see themselves getting hanged in Afzal's news?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I was hoping actually you will give me some space about talking about this. Uh, Interestingly, let's look at the history of the Kashmir and then look at some cases where people were hanged earlier also. We have this Maqbool Bhatt who was hanged in Tihar jail in 1994, and interestingly they have dug Afzal's grave next to Maqbool Bhatt's grave. And there is this slight difference between Maqbool Bhatt and Afzal Guru, because Maqbool Bhatt was the founder of Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. Okay, let's talk about the way you posed the question to me about an intellectual and not being an intellectual. But I am not worried about whether Afzal was an intellectual or not an intellectual. But what I'm being worried about are the repercussions of his hanging in Kashmir. Let me talk first about the repercussions and then I will come to your question. Since 1947, there has been a movement of liberation of Kashmir from the Indian domain. This movement, as the movements do, have their phases. And from 1947 onwards till 1984, it was an unarmed movement. And it only became armed after the hanging of Maqbool Bhatt. So suddenly this population, which is somehow not known about this some courage that they can go to arms, took to the arms the day after, not the day, but after some time after Maqbool Bhatt was hanged. So this new generation identified themselves with Maqbool Bhatt. Now, Umar Abdullah talked about this few days before. I don't know whether the present generation of Jammu and Kashmir do identify themselves with or not with Maqbool Bhatt, but they will definitely identify themselves with Afzal Guru. Yes, I'm of the opinion that they will definitely identify themselves with Afzal Guru. The reason behind this is that it's a common perception among Kashmiris that no one in Kashmir is safe. I mean, we have seen instances where, for example, I'll give a simple example of Lajpat Nagar bomb blast, right? And these two guys who were studying in Delhi were rounded up by Delhi police, and they were somehow in the police investigations found of the guilt of Lajpat Nagar bomb blast. Now a court from Delhi says after 18 years that these two guys were innocent. Now, is it justice or not? I don't know. What do I say about this? Now, who will return their 18 long years? What sort of a justice is this? And everyone in Kashmir has this fear of that he or she might be rounded up in either in Kashmir or any other part of India. So it's in this way that the common Kashmiris feel that it's not only Afzal. Tomorrow it could be some other Kashmiri. Tomorrow it can be me. Tomorrow it can be someone else. If anything happens, that's how Indian media has projected over the years. Samjhota Express, the next moment, the blast occurs, then TV channels will flare with the news: Islamic terrorism, Kashmiri terrorism, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed something. And it takes years for national security agencies to identify that it were not actually the Kashmiri militants. It was not Lashkar-e-Taiba, it was not Jaish-e-Mohammed, but it was some Hindu religious organization. I don't know whether I should have used the word religious or not, but it was some Hindu organization who were involved in that. And interestingly, Makkah Masjid blast, if I talk about, Makkah Masjid had again the similar situation wherein the first fingers were pointed towards Muslims, and there have been in numerous examples from Hyderabad itself that people were rounded up and they are still in jails, they were actually taken into custody, and now it comes to forefront that these guys were not involved in the crime, but there were some Hindu organizations. Now, the interesting thing here, why I'm making these parallels is I'm as in Kashmiri and not as in Kashmiri. Now, if you have somehow it's this ideology which has been crept in everyone's mind that it would be a Muslim who will be responsible for a bomb blast. And the next point, finger points against a Kashmiri Muslim. That's how it has been happened. Nowadays, in these newspapers, you find the news of some Kashmiri cricketer who taken last day 7 wickets against Australia. So he's kind of becoming an Indian hero now. But people figured that just a year before, he was arrested in Bangalore Stadium because they said that he was carrying explosives. Now, the same guy who is now becoming part of Indian cricket team, a year before he was a terrorist, and now he is an Indian cricketer for that purpose. And using all these examples, why am I using all these examples is I'm kind of trying to make a point that most of the Kashmiris have this feeling that they are the easy targets in India and other parts of the country other than Jammu and Kashmir. Now, they are being easy targets in Jammu and Kashmir also, but in other parts of the country, they are easy targets also. And it's always that somehow this easy target culminates into something which you found in Afzal's case, that it led to his hanging, and in other cases it leads to life imprisonment of so many people from Kashmir. So yes, that in that sense that people of Kashmir will identify with Afzal Guru.